Hello friends, in this video we'll be discussing non-linear programming problems with no constraint, problem number 1. Welcome back students. Now we are starting with the next topic, that is NLPP, and the first type of problems are non-linear programming problems with no constraint. So this is the given problem. We need to find its relative maxima or minima, and this is called your objective function. And in the given problem there is no constraint, no restriction given. So we need to find a relative maxima or minima of this function. And as the name suggests, non-linear programming problems. There is one more chapter, linear programming problems. So what is the difference between linear and non-linear? See the terms. See this. Square, this indicate non-linear. So this square or cube, it indicates non-linear programming problems, and our aim is to find the relative maxima or minima of this particular function, and there are no constraint given. So let us start with the solution. First of all, let's assume this function as x1, x2, x3. Let me assume this z as function of x1, x2 and x3, that is equal to same function I am copying. There is a concept of Hessian matrix. First of all, let us discuss that Hessian matrix. See the way I am writing this matrix, I am forming this matrix. This is very important. First of all, I am going to write it down here, dou f upon dou x1. See the way I am writing, dou f upon dou x2 and dou f upon dou x3. Next, repeat this thing, dou f upon dou x1 again, dou f upon dou x2. I'll tell you what is the use of this matrix. First of all, let us see how to form this matrix. Dou f upon dou x1, dou f upon dou x2 and dou f upon dou x3. So this is your Hessian matrix. Now for the first row, we going to differentiate with respect to x partially. So let us differentiate all the terms with respect to x. Second row I am going to differentiate with respect to x2, and for third row I am going to differentiate with respect to x3. So if I differentiate the first row with respect to x1, this will be double derivative. With respect to x1, this will be x2 x1 and this will be x3 x1. Let me tell you, first of all, note this point, dou square f upon dou x2 x1 or x1 x2, both are same. Okay, so let us differentiate the second row with x2. So it will be x2 with x2, then it will be double differentiation with x2, x2 will come here. These two terms are same, so x2 x1 or x1 x2 doesn't matter, they are same. Okay, this is the property of partial differentiation. Next, the last row we are going to differentiate with respect to x3. So this will be x3. Again, these two terms will be same, x1 x3, x3 x1 doesn't matter, they are same. And finally, so this is your Hessian matrix. If, very important point, if determinant of all minors of Hessian matrix are positive, then its maxima, and if, this point is very important, and if determinants are negative, positive, negative and so on, that means alternate negative, positive and so on, then its maxima. What are these things we're going to discuss later on. As of now, just remember this Hessian matrix. I hope this is clear how to form the Hessian matrix. Let's come back to the original problem. This is my f. So first of all, I'm going to differentiate this f with respect to x1. Then I'm going to differentiate f with respect to x2, and I'm going to differentiate f with respect to x3. See the procedure. This f is a function of x1, x2, x3. Therefore, we gonna differentiate f with respect to x1, f with respect to x2, and f with respect to x3. Let us differentiate with respect to x1. So this will be 2x1. Obviously, it's a partial derivative concept. When you differentiating with respect to x1, x2, x3 constant. When you differentiating with respect to x2, x1, x3 constant. And when you differentiating with respect to x3, x1, x2 constant. This is 2x1, this is constant 0, 0, minus 4. Because with respect to x1, minus 4 will come and these terms are constant, its derivative is 0. Next, dou f upon dou x2. It will be 2x2 and minus 8. And finally, dou f upon dou x3. It will be 2x3. And then we have minus 12. What next? I am going to equate dou f upon dou x1 equal to 0. Dou f upon dou x2 equal to 0 and dou f upon dou x3 equal to 0. Let us equate. If you equate, this will be 2x1 minus 4 equal to 0. See, remember the procedure. If you're going to equate this to 0 and finally 2x3 minus 12 equal to 0. So from this, x1 equal to 2, x2 is equal to 4 and x3 is equal to 6. We got the values of x1, x2 and x3. Now these values, if I'm going to put in the function z or this function f, I will get a value. If I'll put x1, x2 and x3 in this particular equation, I'll get the value of z, but that value will be either maxima or minima value. So let us do it. Put x1, x2, x3 in z. So if I'll put x1, x2 and x3 in z, I'm going to get a result and that value is 44. You can try by yourself, put and check. You will get the value of z as 44. How? This 2, 4 and 6 put here, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6 and so on, and try calculating it. You will get the value of z is equal to 44. So our work is done. We got the value of z 44. Last thing left in this particular problem, that the value that we got is a maximum value or a minimum value. We got the value, but we need to check whether it's a maximum value or minimum value. For that purpose, we need to go ahead with the Hessian matrix. Hessian matrix will decide whether the value that we got is a maximum value or it's a minimum value. For doing that, we need all these values. So let us quickly calculate all these values. So let's take what we want. See here. So this is dou f upon dou x1, and what we want? Dou square f upon dou x1 square. That means we got dou f upon dou x1. We need to differentiate one more time with respect to x1 to get dou square f upon dou x1 square. Dou f upon dou x1 will be differentiate once again with respect to x1. So that is 2. If I'm going to differentiate with respect to x1, this is 2 and minus 4 derivative is 0. What else? Next term I want, see here. I want dou square f upon dou x2 square. That means this term I'm going to again differentiate with respect to x2. Therefore, it will be dou square f upon dou x2 square equal to, if we differentiate this term with respect to x2, here it is 2, x2 derivative is 1 and minus 8 derivative is 0. What else? Let us check. We want this particular term, dou square f upon dou x3 square. What needs to be done? See, dou f upon dou x3 we already have. One more derivative with respect to x3. So that will be again 2. What else? See, we got these terms. Let us find it out, this particular term. What does this term indicate? See here, it's very simple. It means that, let me write down here. See, we already have dou f upon dou x1 and we already have dou f upon dou x2. This term, if you differentiate with respect to x2, or this term you differentiate with respect to x1, doesn't matter. So one and the same thing. What I'm saying, see here, either you differentiate this term with respect to x2 or this term with respect to x1, ultimately you will get this value. See, both the values are same. Let us do it for both the terms. See here, it is 2x1 minus 4. So there should be no confusion. Dou f upon dou x2 is a 2x2 minus 8. See here, whether you differentiate this term with respect to x2. So if you differentiate with respect to x2, if you differentiate, that means x1 is a constant, its derivative will be 0, or this is your term, you can differentiate with respect to x1. If you differentiate with respect to x1, its derivative is 0. See here, whatever you do, you will get the answer as a 0. So let us write it down here. Dou square f upon dou x1 dou x2 is equal to 0. I hope this is clear. Next, what about this term? These two terms, simply again the same. See, dou f upon dou x1 or dou f upon dou x3. If you differentiate this term with respect to x3 or this term with respect to x1, one and the same thing. See here, what is that? I am explaining this in detail. In the next problems onwards, we'll be doing it directly. Dou f upon dou x1, the value is 2x1 minus 4. See here, dou f upon dou x3, the value is 2x3 minus 12. Now you differentiate this with respect to x3. See here, with respect to x3, if you differentiate, x3 is variable, rest everything is a constant, derivative is 0, or this x3 with the x1, again it's 0. So whatever you do, the answer will be 0. So here, dou square f upon dou x1 dou x3 will be equal to 0, and the same way finally x3 and x2, or this term x2 or x3. See here, this is x2, you can differentiate with respect to x3, or this is x3, you can differentiate with respect to x2. Ultimately you're gonna get the same thing. So this is the term. If I'm going to differentiate with respect to x3, this is constant, its derivative will be 0. So in short, dou x2 dou x3, its derivative will be equal to 0. So let us put all the values that we got. So h equal to, this value we got it as 2, 2 and 2. See here, rest every value, rest all the values. See, all these values are 0. See here, we have already calculated, because this term is same as this is same as this, and this is same as this. So this is h. See friends, we already got the solution. I just need to check what to write here, maxima or minima. For that purpose, we are going to use Hessian matrix. Okay, so see the definition that I have written here. If determinant of all minors, first of all, there are 3 minors here. So what are the 3 minors involved in the problem? The first minor, let's say A1, is this. First row, first column is your first minor. Second minor means first row, first column, one minor. Second minor means 2 rows, 2 columns. Matlab these 4. 2 rows and 2 columns, these 4. So that is what 2 0 0 2. And A3 means the complete matrix, 3 cross 3. A1 means 1 cross 1, first row, first column. A2 means 2 cross 2. And A3 means 3 cross 3. That is your entire matrix. If you find the determinant, it's determinant, there is only one element, that is a 2 determinant. Determinant of this element, this matrix, 2 to 4 minus 0, that is 4. And if you find determinant of the last, that is a 8. See here, all the determinant values are positive. See here, if determinant of all minors of Hessian matrix, these are the 3 minors, all are positive. See here, then it's all are positive, then it is minima. All are positive, then it is a minima. And if determinants are negative positive, then it is maxima. Okay, since all the values are, since all minor determinants are positive, therefore its minima, and the solution that we got, see here, we already got this solution, that is z is equal to 44, that is the minimum value of the function. So that is your required solution. So just to write this minima here, we have to solve this. See, once again, let me summarize it quickly. This is my function and I need to find out the relative maxima or minima, and the solution is z is equal to 44. That I got it by putting x1, x2 and x3 here. So I got my solution here only, but I just need to check whether the value that I got is a maxima or minima. For that purpose, I need to go ahead with this particular procedure. Suppose after solving, suppose this value is minus, this is plus, and suppose this is minus. After solving the determinants, then it is negative, positive and negative. In that case, the value that we got z will be maxima, that is written here. Hope this is clear. We're done with the problem. Please go through it, solve it properly. It will be very clear. Thank you.